Now we're going to talk about eugenics, something that is not really great, but it was considered science back in the 19 teens and 1920s. So, eugenics is the belief in the possibility of improving the qualities of the human population by discouraging reproduction by individuals that were presumed to have undesirable traits and encouraging reproduction by those who were considered to have desirable inheritable traits. This was a movement throughout the 20th century, worldwide, and in Virginia, and it demonstrated the misuse of the principles of heredity. As for eugenics in Virginia, there was a movement to try to class people as fit versus unfit. And this was based on social class, gender, intelligence testing. They reaffirmed existing class and racial hierarchies with, quote, intelligence testing. The middle to upper class status was a marker of superior strains of genetics, and poverty was seen as a genetic inferiority. A U.S. Supreme Court upheld a Virginia statute for the sterilization of people considered genetically unfit. This statute was the Virginia Sterilization Act of 1924, which basically said mandatory sterilization of patients of state mental institutions. So basically, if you were in a state mental institution, you had to be sterilized, meaning you couldn't physically have children anymore. This provided for similar laws in 30 states, and an estimated 65,000 Americans were sterilized without their own consent or that of a family member. This law, by the way, was not repealed until 1974. Men were sterilized for aggression and to eliminate their criminal behavior. Women were sterilized to control the results of their sexuality, where women were responsible for the reproduction of less desirable members of society, and it was all women's fault. The influence of the eugenics debate in Virginia led to California, where they subjected more people to forceful sterilization than all other US states combined. And then Nazi Germany, the Rockefeller Foundation, yes, John D. Rockefeller, helped develop and fund various German eugenics programs, including the one that Joseph Mengele worked in before he went to Auschwitz. Joseph Mengele is considered one of the leaders of the eugenics movement in Nazi Germany. Our laws actually also influenced the 1935 Nuremberg racial hygiene laws, which were anti Semitic, aka anti Jew, and racial laws. They made it illegal to have Jews and Germans get married together. It made it illegal to employ German females under the age of 45 in Jewish households because they were afraid that the Jews would rape and otherwise hurt the German females. And you don't want any of that running around, not in Nazi Germany. Only those of German or related blood were eligible to be considered Reich citizens. The rest were considered state subjects without citizenship rights. So think of it like in America, if we said only white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Americans were considered eligible to be American citizens, and then everybody else is going to be considered a state subject without citizenship rights. So no voting, no driver's licenses, no, like nothing. So yeah, it was pretty crappy. Yay, eugenics.